Agreed.
We're going to record the pre-show today. We do it every once in a while. We'll record the pre-show. This is, if you're watching the recording,
Ooh.
this is, okay. Yeah, stay on mute, y'all. I don't know, we just had cows mooing. Um, if you do not attend the pre-show, we do this 7:30 to 8 a.m. Eastern time every weekday. And honestly, it's probably better than the call we live stream into Facebook. It's so good. So if you're ever up and want to join us, we usually, right now, we got 500 people sitting on here at 7:35 a.m. and we mastermind and strategize together. What I want to mastermind and strategize around today are best practices for seminars. So many of you are doing seminars, buyer seminars, home selling seminars, oldsters seminars, all these different seminars that you're doing to try to help people out to find leads, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking to deepen the pipeline and grow our leads in the pipeline. So I want to bring up seminars today because a lot of you are doing them. So if you're doing them, let's walk through. What are some best practices? How do you drive people there? What do you do to stay in touch after? Are you getting too hung up on how many people show up versus how many not? And listen, I want to hear from you if seminars are something you do on a regular basis, not like I tried one once and here's what happened, or if I did a seminar, here's what I do. Like you're doing these things weekly or monthly as part of a way to drive business, and then you have sales for them. The big thing about this, I want to be mindful of, we don't do theory in Pivot Shift Ahead because we don't have time for theory. Well, I think I do. No, I need proven systems that work. So if you don't have closings from your seminars, put your hand back down. I love you, but now's not the time to share. I want to hear from those of you that are knocking it out of the park. Kelly, tell us about what you're doing seminar-wise and what some of your best practices are and what you're getting from those, Kelly.
Absolutely. So one of the things I started doing is having a first time buyer seminar, but instead of calling it first time buyer, is how to build wealth beginning with your very first home. And that helped people want to come more. And then they sign up. And then when they sign in, I have them tell me 3 things about you that you think I might need to know to serve you better. So that was a weird question, but that's helped because when I do those follow-up calls after the day after, then I have those, these 3 things were important to you, but it also helps me help them find the lender that works better for them by asking those questions.
That's
So,
really good. What have you found with just kind of asking those questions and changing the title? What's happened results-wise for you?
well, it's increased not only the people who come, but the people who follow through because they have a different mindset. First time buyers, a lot of time, are what's in it for me? What do I get? All of those things. The people who are looking at it as an investment, those people are I don't know, it's almost like a deeper dive. I don't know if that makes sense, but by attracting those people, I'm attracting buyers who buy more quickly.
Oh, that's great. I appreciate that. I'm going to put a link in the chat. If you're watching the recording, I'll tell you how to find it. But I just put a link in the chat for everyone on Zoom. Gosh, we did a session on home buyer seminars a while back with some best practices and then some links to some tools that if you're with Keller Williams, you have access to from the book Your First Home that came out, I don't know, a year, half ago, 2 years ago. So I dropped the link in the chat for that. By the way, if you're watching the recording, if you go to jamesdshaw.com and click agent interviews, I don't care what topic you're looking for. I have interviewed somebody who has mastered that. And you can go in the search box and just type it in. So I just went and typed in buyers. So if you go to jamesdshaw.com, agent interviews, type in buyers, boom, it'll pop right up. But whatever it is you're trying to master or get better at, I promise you, we've interviewed somebody on it, jamesdshaw.com. Edwina, I know you do a ton of buyers, or I'm sorry, a ton of seminars really for they're like transition seminars. I don't know what else to call them, Edwina.
Well, they are for seniors, older adults. Excuse me, allergies have run amok. Yes, so I do those monthly. And today is actually my 14th consecutive month doing them at a local junior college, is where my space is. So that gives a little validity, I believe. But I average anywhere from 15 to 20 attendees. And advertising started out, I have been writing an advertorial for a local newspaper that is mailed to 60,000 homes in the area every month. I've been doing that. This is my 4th year. And last year I got purposeful about tying the article to the upcoming seminar and putting the invite in there. So I've gotten attendees from that.
Nathan? Hey,
And
hey.
Hold on one second, Edwina. Let me mute everyone and then you can come right back off mute. All right. Everyone's muted. Edwina, come back off mute and keep walking us through your seminar system.
okay. And then, so I started tying the article to it and putting, excuse me, the invite in there. So people have come from the actual newspaper article. We had identified seniors, we can identify that within our property tax system. They have a homestead or a senior exemption. So we pulled ones in my farm areas, as well as some other areas I wanted to target to do postcards. So if they've ever signed up for a seminar, if they have ever responded to a Facebook ad, even if they didn't come to the seminar, they get those postcards every month, which has the seminar of that month, plus at least the next 2 to 3 topics, the next 2 to 3 months. So it is the third Thursday of every month from 10 to 11:30. That way I'm not providing lunch, I'm not providing breakfast or anything else, just the space and the information and the speakers. So sometimes it's me as basically a talking head. Other times I have speakers or panels that come in. Today we are talking about 55 plus living options. So I have a person that is what her business is a placement service. So it's just something I talk about in my regular newsletter, my farm newsletter, my email newsletters. It is put on Facebook, on my pages, in my personal page. And I have had 3 closings this year that are seniors from the seminars specifically. One was a lady that she answered a Facebook ad a year ago, January. She didn't attend until October. And she came up to me at the end and said, we'd like you to come talk to us about selling our home. And so I did that, but I double-ended that one. And then just signed a contract on one yesterday from a gentleman who had attended the seminars. So it's not an immediate thing. It is a long-term thing. But it is, seniors are my passion, my heart. And so that is what I've been doing with it. I talk about them at every networking meeting I go to, all of that. So we believe that this is kind of the year that it's going to start to pay off even more, but it has already paid for itself.
Okay. In the top of the call, I said, I'm not looking for theory. I'm looking for proven systems. What did we just get? We just got a proven system. Now, Edwina, your system has evolved over time, I imagine.
Yes, it has.
What are some
And
of the lessons you've learned in this? I'm sorry, go ahead.
well, and I had training from the Senior Real Estate Institute on how to do these. And when it started out, it was basically a seminar in a box with topics and things like that. So I've started asking the seniors, the older adults that attend, because these are the proactive ones that are attending right now.
Yeah.
And the planners, and what topics would be important. And of course, scams is really a big thing with seniors. And so we have the Denton County Sheriff's Department talking on those in May. And actually one of my seniors is the one that made the suggestion and the connection to get that brought to the group. So it's, yeah.
You have gotten pretty systematized in this. You got the same date, you got the same location, you're coming up with the content. Is that you coming up with the content and figuring out how to interview people or what panels to do or what speakers to bring in? And are you coming up with that because people are telling you they need it? Or are you anticipating? How do you figure out what to talk about each month?
Yes, to all of the above. So through the Senior Real Estate Institute, there is Nikki Buckaloo out of Oklahoma City. She does
she does a ton of this stuff too.
That's where all this came from. I mean, that's where I learned it, and that's who I follow. And so she has in that Truth in Living series, suggested topics. And then there are a group of us as certified senior housing professionals around the country. So I stalk their Facebook pages, their LinkedIn's, and we get topic ideas from each other.
Okay, this is great. Pardon me while I'm texting Vicky. I just texted Vicky, although it's 6:44 in the morning in Austin, Texas, where she lives, but I just woke her up. She's going to reach out to you. We need to do we need to go deeper with this inside of Pivot one day on a Wednesday afternoon, friends, with what Edwina's doing? And what I love about,
Absolutely.
yes, and so we're going to, because Edwina, while you're doing it for seniors, the concept and the model that you're running would work for any type of seminar and any group of people.
It does. And the additional thing we added this year, actually this month was the first time to reach the children of older adults. Again, this is a program that I got through Senior Real Estate Institute, is moving mom and dad, the 5 common mistakes children of older adults make and how to avoid them, is going as a webinar once a month, the second Saturday of each month at 10 a.m. Now, I'm re-recording this Saturday because as the first one, of course, I had internet issues. So that will be done from the office from now on and not my home.
Yeah.
So learning that, and I had 5 attendees for that. So
That's great. Are you measuring? Well, I don't want to go too deep on this. I don't want to do the interview that we'll do for a Wednesday right now. But Edwina, thank you. I'm so proud of you too. It's been fun as I've gotten to know you here over the last 4 years. It's been fun to watch this evolution of your business.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome. Vicky's going to reach out. She might reach
Okay.
out now. 6:46 at her house. She's definitely up by now because I just texted her.
That's okay. That's the same time at my house. So.
I know it. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Edwina. Appreciate you. Okay. I'm going to hold on, Renee, because I don't see Denise's hand come up very often, and I want to get her in, and we're low on time. So, Denise, what we're talking about, those of you joining us, I want best practices for seminars, because again, what a great way to deepen the pipeline. So, Denise, tell us what you're doing and give us some best practices.
Morning. Thanks for calling on me. I was in MAPS coaching, and one of the things that they asked us to do is try to figure out how to get in front of more people. So I started traveling and doing 2 to 3 trainings per month on loving on your database, because that's my passion. I have 100+ touch program, and now I go regionally and teach the class. I'm not a MAPS coach anymore, so I cut it back to 1 training a month. So I travel Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, what's the other direction? But so my best practice is getting videos out to the market center before I go, and then having people ask questions specifically so I can address those at the class. And my goal still is now to be referral based. So last year I closed 6 transactions from people that I met at the different seminars, and I think that will continue to grow. And one of the things I do is I tell people that they do not have to write down all the information, that I will send it to them at the end. And at the end of the presentation, they snap a picture of the QR code, and then that gets all of their information as well as their birthdays. And now I send out about 900 birthday cards a year, and it's growing. And so people know that I remember them a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later.
This is a system. Now, you're a systems person. I mean, you're very good at running systems, and that's how you've had such a successful business. But what are some lessons you've learned, on this journey with this particular type of seminar?
That you have to be genuine, and that you really have to care about the other people and their businesses, and you can't be. I don't ask for business, but on the first slide, and let people know that I do business in Southern Ohio, Cincinnati, Dayton, and the West Coast of Michigan. And then after that, it's all about their business. And then for me, it's about the follow-up too. Afterwards, when we get the Google Sheet with all their information, it's reaching out to each person. Thanks for coming. What did you get from it? And that's the last slide of the class, as well as what are you going to take away from today? Because it wasn't useful unless you have one thing that will grow your business.
That's great.
So,
I love that too. This is pouring into people. This is, I don't know. There's smart people on this call. This is really good, Denise. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's keep it going. Kristen Jungles, are you doing seminars?
Yep, I'm doing seminars. So our gosh, if this is not a learn the play, run the play day, I don't know what is. But So our most successful seminar that we do, and people call us and ask for when we're doing it again, is our Building Wealth with Vacation Rentals. What we know is that we have pretty extensive agent to agent referral network. And so we tried to tie into that. We bring an expert in to speak about owning Airbnbs and short-term rentals. And we also have a lender there, we have an attorney there. But what has happened as a result of it is that we get all of our people set up, not just on their neighborhood nurture for where they are in the Chicagoland area, but we then set them up on a neighborhood nurture for wherever they're looking, say Charleston, South Carolina. And so they're getting homes regularly. I mean, so we have people that are working, that have attended our seminar, that are working with, Christine McCall in the Villages now because they thought about buying that second property. We also have people that took the vacation rental idea, and whether it's short, mid, or long-term rentals, they're looking in our area, for mid to long-term rentals now because they thought about adding an investment property. So we just asked them, like, is a vacation rental investment the next addition to your portfolio? And so it's an easy touch to our clients for sure when we're doing DTD2, and so literally people have asked for us to bring it back. And so our speaker is not me. It is Chris, who is in my front line of my downline for profit share. She does it because she owns a number of vacation rentals. She actually just recently bought a property in Belize, so she can speak to it at a really high level. She's our expert. And then she really passes everybody back off to me and does say that with the golden handoff, it's like, and Kristen is the one that has the network of people around the country that could help you in any area that you want to buy. So Building Wealth with Vacation Rentals has been a huge hit for us.
That's genius, Kristen. Thank you. There's so much good stuff. I'm glad we're recording this one. So those of you who say, where's the recording going to be? We'll put it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@JamesDShaw. So you can find it there. It'll be up later today. Josie, stand by, because I don't see Beth's hand up very often. And so I want to get Beth and Trudy in because we don't see Trudy's hand up very often. So let's get them, and then I'll come back for Renee and Josie. But Beth, go ahead.
Good morning, James. I'd like to echo a little bit of what Edwina said. We have a very robust seminar for seniors, seminar series. It's the Great Transitions Senior Living Seminar Series. We run 11 seminars a year, every month of the year except for December. We're getting about 50 people to each seminar. We have a great group of educational partners. I saw one of the questions in the chat. Somebody said, how do you pay for this? We have educational partners that pay a fee to be our preferred vendors in these seminars, and they help pay for our meeting room rental at the Chamber of Commerce and the promotion that we do. We're very systematic about the way we communicate with our people. We're asking where they're finding out information, how did they learn about the seminar series, things of that nature. And we run a DTD2 on that to get the people in the room. And it is purely educational. We're not there to sell people anything. We tell them that at every seminar, and yet we're providing the content that's getting us business because we're in a place where we are building relationships. So we had 4 closings last year off of the seminar business. I've got 2 listings right now, one that's live and the other's going live next week. A very robust pipeline for what's coming down the pike because we're in conversation and in relationship with these people on a monthly basis.
I mean, why are there so many geniuses sitting in here? Again, this is a play you're running. You're getting a ton of people at your event. It's building your pipeline. I imagine most of it is down the road business. By the way, it could be several years out, but you're building this pipeline, right, Beth?
Yeah, I've got a listing right now. We're at 1.45 million, and I started talking to her 3 years ago.
Okay, see, but listen, like Orly teaches us, you got to eat today, you got to eat in 2027.
Correct.
Yeah, that's great, Beth. Thank you. Appreciate you. Trudy?
Good morning.
So we're talking about seminars and how to run best practices for those. Tell us what you're doing.
So last year, we really wanted to focus on getting our first-time home buyers more engaged. And so we started creating sort of bi-monthly events targeted to our first-time home buyers. And so we run those plays like events. So it's, a multi-step process, for the invites and, the follow-ups. But the event itself is really capped at 10 people, and we have them in sort of intimate, fun environments like a brewery or our local winery, or someplace fun and but also has a little intimate setting. And then to get them engaged, we took the Steps to Home Ownership PowerPoint presentation and just put the topics on Jenga blocks. And so we get around, we sip some beer, eat some tapas, and we talk, play the game, the Jenga game. And what we found is it really gets our participants engaged. They're talking, otherwise we're just presenting, or we're not really having conversation. And it helped us really, from that moment on, our talking points and following up with all of them, all of our first-time homebuyers, it worked. I mean, we really had great things, conversation items for our follow-up phone calls. We closed 6 last year, and we've got 2 on the board from those events for this year.
It seems like having good follow-up systems, Trudy, is absolutely key in this.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
What are some of your follow-up plays?
Well, so what we do is we really take good notes. So I usually have, some of my support folks there. And when we get back, to regroup, we put notes, really, really good notes into command about the conversations that were had. So we know, this person wants, their dream is to have a barn dominium in McClenny, or, that kind of thing. And so we know how to partner them with the right lenders, and how to, so all of our follow-up calls are around, the goals and desires, and even the questions that they had at those events.
That is awesome. If you were going to give a final pro tip to somebody looking to do seminars, what would you tell them?
I think the pro tip for us was to find a way to keep them engaged, right? And so a lot of times, we think of a seminar as we're giving a presentation, but this, making it fun and creating and gamifying it really gets our people engaged.
I like it. Thanks, Trudy.
You're welcome.
Josie, let's squeeze you and see if we can get Renee in too. Tell us real quickly what you're doing and some best practices.
Yeah, absolutely. We've done seminars literally as long as I've been with Val. She did them regularly before I started. And so when I started with her, the first thing that I helped do was just make it more systematized. So we'll put ours through Eventbrite. That's where people have to register. I like Eventbrite because even though now they will charge you if you have more than 25 people register, but it's like $10. But you can put custom questions. So that's something I learned a few years ago. So I put the custom questions, one specifically to ask, like, how soon are they looking to buy, right? So it's either like ASAP, 0 to 3 months, 6 to 9, et cetera. Just curious is one of the options. So by getting their kind of intention, that helps when we go to do the follow-up later on. And you can request phone number also that way, as well as obviously you'll get the email. So we follow up with them. You want to start doing it at least 3 weeks prior. We only advertise on Facebook, like for like doing like a small paid or whatever. We'll do an event, right, that we can boost, or a post that we can boost. And then, we'll put it out on other platforms. Like we put it out on the local patch. We'll put it out, through things like that. And we always highlight the speakers that are going to be there. So there's always at least one lender. Sometimes one of our insurance people, attorneys, sometimes a home inspector. And because we tie them in, when we do have them sponsor events throughout the year, that's kind of an extra thing, right? That we can connect as a value add that we do for them because we promote them, and then they're that much more happy to sponsor our events for different things throughout the year. The follow-up piece literally built out 2 different follow-up smart plans, auto plans. One is tagged as attended, one is tagged as didn't attend, right? So either way, the goal of both is to schedule a one-on-one consultation so we can call it, like they get each set, right, gets an email after whether or not you attended. Sorry, we missed you, or thank you for coming. And then there's different follow-up emails. There's a follow-up call. You know, if you attended, thank you again. Did you have any questions? Do you want to schedule a consultation? And if you missed it, would a one-on-one consultation be easier? And or when's the next one? We've done monthly, we've done quarterly, we've done bi-monthly. And when we first did them, really not that many other people did them in the area, but then, you know, we had a lot of success and we saw people started to do them also. So our area is a bit saturated with it. So now we do them quarterly because monthly it just ends up being too much, and you don't really get the engagement. So quarterly seems a little bit more exclusive than, you know, oh, they'll just have another one next month. And we've had at least one closing every single time that we've done a seminar for the last 7 years that I've worked with Val. So yeah.
That's great. I love it. Josie, thank you. Renee, sorry we didn't get to you. Good stuff today. This is just on my mind after seeing a lot of stuff come up inside of Pivot about seminars. Good news is it's a rare pre-show that we recorded. And so if you're watching live, you'll be able to find it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@JamesDShaw. And I hope you enjoy it. Everyone who shared, thank you. Those we didn't get to, I appreciate you sharing anyway. All right, here we go. Let's get on the gram.